Good morning. Stephena, tell me a little bit about WeCare Family Connections. How do you describe the agency?
Well, WeCare Family Connections is a child placement agency, and our primary mission is not only to improve inclusion and diversity within the child welfare system, but our philosophy is every child deserves a loving home, and every loving home deserves a child, irregardless to race, ethnicity, or gender.
That's a great philosophy. Stephena, tell me a little bit about your background. I understand, too, that you originally are from Haiti?
Yes, I'm a child of immigrants. It's been a journey. I could recall in terms of my mother entering the country because we were fleeing from Haiti based on for those of you that are aware, Duvalier and Baby Doll and so forth. So my parents were fortunate enough to leave the country at the time, and we arrived at the States. And so in terms of professionally, I've been in the child welfare sector for the last 20 years in administrative capacity. And through it all, I've seen quite a bit of issues, systemic issues throughout. And most notably, what captured my heart is the siblings being torn apart. Because simply, there are not enough homes that will accept large sibling groups. Right, because I could imagine if I was in the child welfare system, I'm from a sibling group of 10 altogether, 2 sets of fathers, but 10 altogether, right? And so every child, if you could imagine your siblings, your family struggling, and your siblings that are there are no longer available to you, how would that impact you? Would you be the person that you are today? It's profoundly changed the way I view things. And I've started to ask the question as to why is that occurring, right? We often wonder, we often ask ourselves a question, but take hard truth in answering it, right? And so throughout my professional career, I've asked myself the hard questions: why is this occurring? Why are not more people taking children in? Why are siblings torn apart? And so as I started asking this question, it led me to look at myself and ask why I'm not doing it. What's keeping me from doing it? And so ultimately, my husband and I, we said, you know what? Although it may be difficult, but we profoundly believe that one person can change a child's trajectory in life. And so we ripped the Band-Aid. 6 years in, we are foster parents. We take nothing but sibling groups. We've had over 30 children in our home, which comprise of maybe about 8 sibling groups. The largest set that we've had is 5. And so that's a little bit about me.
So you've had direct experience with foster parenting. How did that lead to the establishment of WeCare?
You know, I believe there's no accidents, right? Everything happens for a purpose, regardless of if you see it immediately or 5 years from now or 10 years from now. It all leads you to someplace. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't see the creation of WeCare at all. We started to take another look and asking why there are no more minorities in the system that are doing this work. And so the formation of WeCare evolved in terms of continuously asking the questions of why, right? Why are there marginalized children are the majority of children in the foster care system? Why is that? And so we ask, why are children going night to night and no one's being able to commit to them? Why are children's cultures are not being preserved and expanding and so forth? So there's a whole lot of whys, right? And so as we lead to, as what led us to WeCare, is that the formation of an organization that is all-inclusive, that is pushing the boundaries and asking and welcoming to all parties, and educating folks as well in terms of what's going on in child welfare system. It's not simply about recruiting and finding loving homes. It's as well as in terms of bringing forth awareness, because the majority of folks are not aware about the child welfare system, about foster care, about how much of a need it is out there. And there are different ways to support outside of being a foster parent.
So you established WeCare, and it has a couple of unique aspects to it. The fact that it is minority-owned by yourself and your husband, the focus on diversity. How does that uniqueness help you live your mission?
It's the foundation. It's the uniqueness is the foundation of WeCare Family Connections. We're, as you shared, the only minority-founded child placement agency in the state of Florida, and also by foster parents as well. So we understand. So we're not simply there indicating that folks should walk or to walk this walk with us. We live it. This is our mission. Fostering is a mission. It's not a job. You hear that often, right? But it's a mission based on your experiences. Majority are good, but there are some heartaches as well with fostering in terms of experience, the child's trauma, them displaying their trauma and being able to help guide them through it. That's our primary mission.
Stephena, we're a faith community. Can you tell us a little bit about your faith and how that plays into your leadership at WeCare?
Without faith, WeCare would not be here today. The establishment of, as I shared before, in terms of little blocks, it's just every decision that you make and everything that you're exposed to is leading you somewhere. And we truly believe that the formation of WeCare is through faith. It's a higher calling in terms of what led us through here. I could share with you that 5 years ago, I couldn't see this, the formation. And it's guiding us through our faith and being able to continuously, every decision is governed on the best interests of the child in our faith, and being welcoming and opening our doors to folks that have a loving heart. And that is the cornerstone, and we welcome anyone, irregardless to race, gender. If you have a loving heart and you have a room in your home for a child, we would love you to join us.
It sounds like what you're describing is very much in keeping with several Unitarian Universalist principles, the respect and dignity for every individual, and the interdependent web of existence, that we're all connected. Respect, dignity, all being connected. Are those key facets to you, and in what way?
Oh, most definitely. Spiritually, we believe that everything is intertwined, right? And I'm trying to find the right words to kind of frame it, because it's like when you throw a rock into a puddle, right? In terms of the way that it ripples, you have rippling effects. You're not sure how it's going to impact the ground below. right? The trajectory, based on your trajectory, it may impact you differently than it impact me, but we're all feeling the impact in some way or another. And that's how I feel in terms of with regards to fostering as well within WeCare. We're changing lives day by day, and the impact, you may not necessarily see it immediately, but recognizing that you're changing the world through love, through compassion, and being able to safely guard the next generation of children.
That's beautiful. That also leads to a question about transcendence. The fact that when we open our hearts to new experiences, to new people, to new relationships, we change, we grow. I didn't ask you this question in advance, but can you tell me a little bit about how you feel the people in your program, the foster parents in your program, have maybe grown through the experience of fostering?
Oh, goodness. Words can't explain. We've had foster parents in various ethnicities open their hearts to children. And what folks shared about the children on paper, right? Because you hear about all the bad things the child has done. But once you let them into your home, you show them that they're cared for, you show them that you're committed to them, all of a sudden the Teflon that they've had surrounding them, right, start peeling apart. They're starting to trust you because you're able to show them that they are worthwhile, they are worth your love. And then that entire child transforms to someone totally different, right? This child that was hard in armor in their, not only in their actions, but in their words too, because they've experienced so much, the child changes. And conversely, the foster parent changes as well in terms of being able to connect in such a way based on their mutual experiences that no one is the same. In addition, not only the child is not the same, the foster parent is not the same, but those that are around them, it's like a rippling effect. Those that are around them are no longer the same as well because they've all had an ability to share that experience in one regard or another. The school that the child attends, is transforming. See the transformation in the child. It's just a rippling effect in terms of how everything is intertwined and the type of transformation that takes place when someone knows that they're loved, when someone knows that they feel valued, is unlike anything. Everyone should experience that.
That is truly amazing work that you do. So here at UUC, many of us are maybe a little older, maybe not able to adopt a child, or might not have room in our homes to foster a child or other circumstances, but we would like to help. And so Reverend Amy and you have been talking about a program. Do you want to describe it a little bit, or do you want me to describe it?
Go right ahead.
All right, and you chime in. So Reverend Amy and I and several people on our Social Justice Council are aware as well. We're talking about a program where here at UUC, volunteers would provide babysitting once a month, probably the first Saturday of the month, in our nursery for some of the foster children from WeCare Family Connections. We're thinking maybe it would start the first Saturday in June. It would run from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Children would bring their own lunch. Our adults who would be the babysitters would all have to have background checks, of course, and we'd have a ratio of no more than 2 children to an adult and at least 2 adults at all times. Tell me a little bit about why you think this would be helpful for the children, for the foster parents, and for those of us here at UUC.
It will be helpful in terms of from the foster parent perspective to run errands, do laundry, different things that traditional parents would do in terms of if you're a parent, you know that once in a while you need a little break from the kids, right? To regroup and refresh your sanity, right? And so that, in terms of beneficial from the foster parent perspective, from the UU perspective, is being able to interact with children in the foster care system and being able to help mentor as well, because children pick up on various gnomes. The more we expose them to, the more they know, the more they grow. And so those would be the opportunities in terms of being able to help frame a child's mind and heart, and showing that there are definitely a community that cares regarding their well-being.
I really hope we can bring this program to fruition. I'll put out a little pitch here that if you're interested in volunteering, please get in touch with Reverend Amy. We are looking for somebody to kind of coordinate the volunteers, so if you're interested in that, we'd be very open to hearing from you as well. And I hope we can get this program off the ground. I think we would all grow from it and find it very rewarding. Stephena, what have I not asked you that you would like to tell everybody here?
That's a loaded question. The only thing that I would like to share is that, as you mentioned before, there are other facets of supporting. You don't need to foster based on your current state in life. That may not be the best thing for you, right? And that's okay. But there's other ways to support. We could mentor. We could be able to help with the literacy as well. You could help support birthdays, help support a family through birthdays, through Christmas. So there's a litany of ways that you could support. And if you are interested, don't hesitate to reach out. If you have something in mind that we haven't discussed, just don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to hear from you. We would love for you to volunteer if you're able to, in terms of just increasing awareness. So the door is wide open.
Thank you so much, Stephena. Please thank our guest, Stephena Pierre from WeCare Family Connections.
Thank you for having us.